Namaste and greetings, my beautiful souls. Today I want to do such a reading that the answer to the question, such a question, what role I played in his life? What did I bring into his life? Did I somehow change his life, his destiny, him? What is that me coming into his life bring to him? And he can be someone you knew 20 years ago or someone you knew 6 months ago. It can be someone from distant past. It can be someone from not that long away past. But the bottom line is we might wonder sometimes, even if it was 20 years ago or it was 2 years ago or whatever it was, what was I in his life? What did I mean? What role I played in his life? What did I bring into his life? What question did I bring to him? Did I somehow influence him, or I just came into his life and I was gone and I didn't leave anything in his life after I was gone? Or if you're still there, then it's just like that. You are still there. You don't say after I am gone, but you can say, okay, what, even if this man is your husband, what did I bring into his life? How I've changed his life, how I've changed his destiny. What did I become for him? Was I love? Was I test? Was I temptation? Was I just nothing? It didn't mean nothing. So we will take the psychic tarot of the heart, and I'll take two cards for each set. So if you want to ask about more than one man, then just attach first one to the first deck set, and the second to the second, third to the third. So we will ask this question, and we will ask this deck, the sacred, the psychic tarot of the heart. What did I bring into his life? How did I change it? What mark I left, or I'm still? How I changed his life, his destiny? What was I? What am I? So we will take two cards for one man. You're asking about if it's just one man, then just one. We're gonna take two cards for the second one, or just for one if you choose the second pile. And the third, we will do the third pile. And we will look into it. This is pile number one. I'm going to move this right here. And we will see what was it. What did you bring into his life? It's in reverse position. These cards are not read in reversed position. So we are having two cards. First, I'm going to explain you each one of them, then we will combine them together. So here is the card number one, the numerology number 10, or again number one of the beginning, and the second card is number two, coming together. So when you entered his life, you probably found a rather attractive, rather self-sufficient, self-assured type of a man. And he was full of energy. Like, energy around him was driving him forward. So rather ambitious type of a man, and he just didn't think much, but let himself flow in this energy he had boiling in him. He really, really wanted to attract more opportunities in life to him. And he probably wanted really a position in society, money, things like this, um, a certain level, a certain respect, a certain opinion about himself. He wanted the people to see him as a victorious, like a winner, like a successful type of man. And you brought completely different energies into his life and questions. So before you came, it was me, myself, and I, my success, my desires, my ambitions. And you came and you made him ask himself unexpected questions about love, about peace, about something greater than just what people talk about you. And his heart was not something he was hearing very much when you entered into his life. And his heart was calling for him to get deeper into connection with you, but he did not want to do that. He wanted to concentrate on his desires. He wanted to concentrate. This is not surprising because this is how men are. They For them everything is about their ambitions. He wanted to realize himself in society. Uh, he thought, he has tons of time. He has all the time in the world. He has, you always gonna be there. And whenever somehow he believed, then whenever he decides to be with you, he simply is gonna, open his arms to you, and you're gonna run to him whenever you are, whoever you are with, you're gonna run to him. Very self-assured type of a man. So but you were, of course, not someone who would want something like this. You are either giving you the heart or you not. So at the same time, somehow, when you were present in his life, it was good fortune, it was lots of synchronicity, is what was a lot of luck in his life. And the destiny was telling him, open your heart, you idiot, open your heart and open your arms wide. Embrace what? Embrace togetherness with you. You could have been, I don't think you are together with this man. He is this type of a man who is used to have them women eating from his palm, and he didn't think that you're gonna be going somewhere. At the same time, you were his true chance for true family. What is family? Family is not like I have a wife, I have a kid, I have two kids, I am this, I am that. But you brought him this chance of coming together. The next card shows the number two, with himself. Right here you see a man and a child. This is also a symbol of his inner child. When a man starts running away after the material things, this is when he tries to suppress his inner child, because inner child at some point was suppressed. So destiny was telling him, open up your heart, open up your arms. nothing just stays there. Just take that chance, because things are happening. Life flows in circle, and just you need to be changing, and you need to be growing. And the chance which is given to you for true closeness and togetherness and peace with yourself, it doesn't come very often. You brought a new cycle into his life. You brought and turned those stones in the pond. You told him there are more, there are bigger things that you can imagine, and move forward, but not into unknown. The thing is that also it's kind of like an emperor energy, a control freak, and he was you were really so much of inner growing and understanding. You brought it all into his life. If you are not together with this man, then unfortunately for him, not for you, but unfortunately for him, he when he understood what you were, I am afraid it was too late. Because when you are being given a pure diamond on the palm of a hand, and you say, okay, this is a pure diamond and this is my gift to you, you can have it and you can do this and this with it. And someone who looks at this diamond, he says, you know what, that's no diamond, that's just a piece of glass, and it's worth of nothing. So don't try to fool me telling me this is a diamond. So many things. First of all, the chance of him to getting in peace with himself, the chance of him to understand the true meaning of life, the true meaning of togetherness, the true meaning of closeness, because he did not allow no one really close to himself, because when he was little, probably he was craving this closeness, he was wanting this closeness. When he grew up, he decided that the only way to survive is to be alone, and cut everyone who touches any strings in you, cut them all off with a sword. And you keep on playing that role for him. And the next card, of course, as I have already said, coming together. Of course, there are so many of you listening to this reading. I think there is a big hope here. Of course, take what resonates, but coming together at this point of us speaking, he no longer wants to be alone, because it's understanding of this is a card of healing, inner healing, but also this commitment and harmony and partnership. He understood through you, through the way you are, through the way you communicate, through the way you love, through everything in you, that it depends on him. He either comes fully to you and opens up his heart to you, and gives all he has of good in him to you, and opens up his arms and his heart, or you simply not gonna you not going to agree to this. But this is a card, of course, of deep understanding of you, of what you mean, of what you are, what you brought into his life. And this is the card which gives us hope for the steps done by him, because it's taking love to the next level. Probably took him years to figure it out, probably took him months to figure it out, but this is a card of family, this is a card of relationship and commitment, and understanding that the partner, because the partner which is shown by the coming together, that's a lifetime partner. This is marriage, this is family, And but only what I want you to understand, that this is the card which comes after healing, and we see that he needed that time. Too many things you brought into his life. Of course, spirit of love and forgiveness is the main energies of the coming together card. But there were, when you just entered, there were misunderstanding, there were trouble, there were probably distant, there were, of course, his ambitions and his control and his this and this, but he no longer wants it. Of course, we are not looking into specifically actions, but these two cards really, this man really got through serious transformation. For some of you, this is the man you have not probably seen for some time, or probably you knew each other for some time, but you probably opened your heart to him, and he did not, he did not budge, and then you closed it and you kept him as friend at this distance, and now he fully understands that that's not how he wants it. He wants to be with that healing potion you are for him. You are the answers to all the questions. So now he knows and understands that, and he does not, no longer wants to stay away from that. So you are it all. You are love, you are healing, you are understanding of life, understanding of the meanings of life, the answers to his questions. Everything is in here. So this is what you brought into his life, what you were, what you are, how you changed him or his destiny. All the questions are given here in these two cards. Now we are going to move to the next two cards. What you were, what you were, what you are, what you brought. Awaiting results. So we see the card number one. We see this awaiting results. A man which is rooted into a ground like a tree. Usually it's a person who was brought up in the like a strict family with very sometimes ridiculous traditions and rules. So he it's a person who was brought up like in a very conservative way, and he had a certain like attitudes towards people, love, business, life, certain attitudes, certain beliefs, and he believed that a woman who he imagined next to him, she had to follow certain line of rules. Number one, she has to be this. Number two, she has to be this. And those rules, of course, were also the results of his upbringing, of his family. So he was frustrated because he did not see things in his life to be working the way he wanted them to work for him. Even though he was sure that, I don't think it's a very young man, he was sure that everything will be, very simple. So he invested a lot of time into trying to grow as whoever he believed he has to grow. So it usually, of course, another example of a man who tries to prove what his parents that he's a good son, his society that he is a good citizen of that society. He's sure that the rules which he the rules must be followed, and everything must be according to the rules. And then you have come. Win or lose to him. Win or lose, a card similar to Ace of Swords. And then you have come into his life. Especially if you are connected with the swords, if you are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but this deck doesn't really belong to uh, the tarot energies, but still we see the heart in the sword. So you came and you said, honey, you brought him a lot of things which he did not agree. You were not looking the way he thought he must have. My wife must look like this. My wife must talk like this, or my wife or a woman is in my life. She has to do this. She has to do, and you don't give a damn. You are your own person. You are this very bright personality, and you did not agree with his ego. You did not agree with his ideas of love. You did not agree with his ideas of how a woman's supposed to be or behave, or how life should be. So you came with completely different way of seeing, understanding things. And you came as this huge, challenge. Huge challenge. So a very powerful, strong person, type of a man who is used to the fact that, everyone just agrees. You did not agree. It's your strong will against his strong will. And you say, you know what, honey, generosity is more important than greed. And love is more important than what your neighbors are going to tell about your wife. You can be a winner while still having heart. You're so much afraid to look like a loser to someone that you make choices from the point of view that how it must be, and you completely turn off your heart. And he didn't want to put up with it. So his ego really kicked in, and he's really, I don't think that you stayed together. And so you provoked him. You made him ask himself a lot of questions, even if he didn't tell you that you were making him asking himself questions. And you didn't budge. You didn't want to yield. You when it was enough, when you realize that love is guiding you but not guiding this man, you probably took out the sword and you cut off, and you say, wishing you farewell and goodbye, and I'll live as you want. Keep on rooting and keep on. And somehow when you were gone, when he realized that you weren't joking, that you're not going to fall to his feet and worship him as God, and kiss his shoes, he got very pissed. He decided that he'll be fine without you. But suddenly he started more and more asking himself the questions which you made him ask himself. He considered it very stupid when love is guiding you, and when you have to be dealing with things from heart, or matters of heart didn't bother him and all. But the problem is that it's very interesting thing that you brought and came and became in his life. Very important question. The whole meeting and communicating with you brought. What makes you alive? What makes your life having any sense? When love goes wrong, nothing goes right. And the one who is winning at the end is the one who has this LOVE word in the life. And nothing else really makes sense when you don't have this LOVE. And LOVE is you. So what he's going to do now, I don't know. But you're the one who dared to try to pull him out of the ground he rooted himself with those stupid rules he believes. And then you walked away, and he no longer wants to stay this way. That's a very significant part. Clarity. Ace is connected with clarity. And suddenly it was not him who had clarity about life. It was you who had clarity. And your clarity he took as like, some fairy tale. But when you were gone, he realized that he was the loser, not you. And your love and ability to love is your strength and not your weakness. This is set of card number 2. A set of card number 3. Balance and healing. I don't even have to probably say anything here. You see a man who had chains. And here you see a man and a woman, which is like one person. And of course, this is the sign of either authentic soulmates, or I avoid lately for many months using the words twin flames, because a lot of people take it wrong, and they use it as an excuse for very toxic relationship and dead-end relationship. But as you can see, this is one of the cards which shows it. So some healing can be different. So you have to understand that the healing, it's not when everything becomes painless. Those of you who know and understand what healing is of course, you know that healing takes, it can be very painful, because before starting true healing, you have to face and accept those wounds, because those wounds, they are chains. They don't allow you live your life to your maximum potential and balance. Of course, you brought absolutely new knowledge. You brought harmony. The thing is that the word healing is repeated in those two cards. Both of this card mean healing, and you brought important aspects of life. You are the most important relationship he'd have, but you brought him the questions about his relationship with himself. And you'll probably ask him, do you know who you are? Are you sure that you want exactly what you're trying to get? Are you sure when you get it, you are going to be happy? And he looked at himself completely through your eyes. And I don't think you are together, but the thing is that this time apart, if you've had time apart, he spent in solitude, but with you, your words, your smile in his head. And he had to acknowledge to himself that he can agree to be with you only when he agrees fully to be in peace and harmony with himself. He needed to compromise. He needed to compromise with these chains, and he had to remove those chains in order to be with you. Healing time for him was needed, maybe still needed, maybe he's still healing, but he started to learn to understand that in order to receive truly deeply, you also must be learning to give. And by finding this middle ground, you'll help to ensure that your needs and the needs of you as his partner are met equally. He didn't know how to compromise before you. He didn't know. He was a king of the jungle. But you brought such a huge thing to him. So he had to accept himself, his wounds, but also learn to accept people as individuals with different personalities, with different wishes, wounds, desires. And he had to embrace his inner self, his inner wounds, in order to learn to enjoy just being himself. Totally, so many issues. You had risen in him, there's tons and tons of issues, but after healing, he after the healing, you too, I believe, are meant to be together, because we see this togetherness here. We see forgiveness, we see serenity, and we see hope and inspiration. And this is what you are to him: healing, balance, forgiveness, serenity, hope, and inspiration. This is all, my beautiful souls. I hope it was helpful. I am wishing you all the best. I think I will do maybe another reading this week using the Psychic Tarot. Namaste.